Yo, 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 fellas, what it do, what it is, what it look like. It is Friday, March the 27th. We are back in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead, get your shares in. Get ready because we're about to rock out like we always do. It is March the 27th, Friday. Oh, I don't know why, y'all, but I feel like this was just the longest time to get to a Friday in a long time. I don't know, it's because it's the end of the month. I don't know if it's because there's so much going on at one time. You know, March Madness, the NBA, baseball. It just took a while, but we are here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the Rec Room Sports Crew, and we are bringing to you live through your airwaves and technically, on your computers, PCs right now. We doing in the hoop, man. So Fridays, of course, we do a little basketball talk. We're gonna stick strictly to the hoops. If you don't know, if you're living under a rock, Thursdays you can catch the whole game right here on the Rec Room Sports Hub. We will be broadcasting live from the Anajar Levine Studios in Jacksonville, Florida, right there on ESPN 690. You can also watch that. So, like I always do, man, I got my starting lineup, man. Today we playing threes. We might have another two coming in. We got some bench players gonna be joining us in a little bit. But of course, I got my starters, man. Cleveland's on, but Las Vegas is currently home. That's right. You might have caught them on the Audible Sports Podcast, where life and sports meet culture. On Thursdays, Audible reacts with Wild Card Mar and our home girl, Miss April. Big shouts out to Bobby G. Bobby G, what's going on, bro?
What up? Watching these Guardians trying to do what they do, even though our alleged ace sucks, we were still able to get the victory. So, Cleveland stand up.
Shout out to Cleveland, man. East 99 and all the good stuff
Just,
out there.
justice for Tanner Bybee.
That is so trash.
And then, of course, man, I would be remiss to not bring up my brother from another mother. That's right. Oklahoman just moved to Norman, four-time rookie of the year. That's right. You can catch him on the Lock It In crew or with the Lock It In crew on Saturdays, giving out bets. You can catch him on Wednesdays with the baseball show, talking that baseball. And when they get it cranked back up, you can catch it with our guy, Mr. First Down, Sam, on the Match show where we talk about nothing but wrestling. Big shouts out to Mr. AP, Alan Paris, everybody. Alan, what it do?
So two things. First of all, that show is now going to be on Fanboys Unleashed, which is Sam's channel. So definitely go check that out there. We might be doing it Sunday. Who knows? We'll definitely be going to be doing a show before WrestleMania hits. So keep an eye out for that. Also, I've been waiting 2 weeks to say this. Is it great to be alive on a Friday night in Norman, Oklahoma, or what? Sorry.
Okay. We feel you.
He said no.
Big shouts out to Norman, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Where they get it's live out there, from what I understand.
Oh, trust me. I drove by campus earlier. It was kind of crazy. I believe everybody in the fraternities were moving out. So.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that one last rager. You know anything about campus life? If you've ever been to one of those colleges where there are fraternities that are not in the Divine Nine, yeah, they gotta have that one last. They want to have that one last party, man. You gotta go. It's gonna be a keg or two, several adult beverages that are like held in like random items, like fish bowls or like 16-inch ramekins. You got those ramekins you take a shot at. College life was great, but yeah, thank you, Alan, for showing up for us today. Speaking of college, man, say what?
Say what's up to Baker.
Yeah, yo, what?
He seems like the type that still goes to college.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah, Baker definitely pops in, and I would.
No, he just comes around just to stare at his statue that we have outside in Heisman Row. So,
and is there a Cheesecake Factory in Norman?
Cheesecake. I'm not sure about Cheesecake Factory. If it is, it's off the interstate. But I know there's at least a couple in Oklahoma City. So,
and that's Baker's favorite restaurant. If you know, you know.
Ooh, don't hit him with the facts right there. But yeah, guys, in reality, right now it's really going down. Big shouts out to our guy JDMIC. He's handling some business, so we'll be missing him. But it seems though there's so much going on in the world of just basketball that we kind of just got to start at the top and go to the bottom. So, of course, guys, before I get to the topics, March, just real quick, man. Madness is happening. If you don't know, Duke just eliminated St. John's from the tournament. After St. John's, aka the Johnnies, went on a storied run with Coach Rick Pitino behind him. Ejiofor with a spirited performance out there, but uh, Cameron Boozer proven to be just a little bit too good. They put up that stat line where he's the first freshman or underclassman to go 2010 and 5 since Larry Bird. Okay, I don't, I don't know if you know, but if I don't care if they say I get my car washed where Larry Bird used to get his car washed at. That's big. That's high cotton right there. You know what I'm saying? So for it, if you don't know Cam Boozer, you're going to son of Carlos Boozer, big guy down there in Utah when he finally got drafted. Of course, he got around a little bit, besides being in Utah. But those Utah days were really some of his
drafted by Cleveland. So.
Yeah. I mean Cleveland. I mean, of course, he got drafted by Cleveland, but those Utah teams with him and Darren Williams were cold, ice cold. Yeah. But for sure, man. So guys, as we take in some of the effects of what has been, without getting too deep into topics so far, what are your takes on just March Madness as we get a chance to watch it?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised from the performance Houston put up yet last night. It was not great. Definitely struggled a lot down the stretch. Illinois did a great job at holding them down. We called it. I know on Lock It In, we called Illinois being kind of a dark horse sleeper team in this tournament, and they've showed up so far, and now they're in the Elite Eight. And then, of course, there's Iowa, who's come completely out of nowhere as a 9 seed. Obviously, they knocked off the defending champion Florida Gators to get to where they're at. Of course, beating Nebraska last night in a tough matchup. So kudos to them. And it's just like you look at the brackets from top to bottom. Obviously, we expected Duke to be there. Obviously, we kind of felt like St. John's was going to make a run. Michigan State right now is getting the break speed off of them by UConn. We kind of expected that. There are just a couple things. Obviously, Texas, the way they played well at the end of the season. But I did not expect Houston to not only no-show a majority of that game last night, only put up 55 points against the Illini. That to me is crazy.
Man, it's been weird, man. It's been weird. We've had some good individual performances. We had good individual performance that led to team success. We've had good individual performance go by the wayside because the team lost. AJ puts up 35 points. BYU takes the L. Hell, Darius played his butt off last night. Darius A. Cuff, those don't know what I'm talking about. Played his butt off. Still takes the L. So it's just not as many, I guess, exciting moments. Like it's just been kind of solid basketball, right? Like Alan said, some of the things going on, we expected Duke to be here. Probably the only unexpected thing would be the Florida L. Arizona looking like man, they damn near looking like an NBA team. They're looking like they need to be reclassified. But yeah, man, it's been an enjoyable tournament. Can't say like it's bad or disappointing, but yeah, looking forward to see the conclusion, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I'm like for myself, this has been a tournament of what I think is real basketball coming to the forefront. And when I say real basketball, I'm talking about what we know as the current situation in basketball, where the 3 and D players are prevalent. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want. They want you to be 6'9". They want you to be able to switch on all the screens. They want you to be able to shoot the three, stay in the corner, have your hands up, be ready, shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, some way, we get to the Elite Eight, man. It's centers out here, real centers, real power forwards. Okay, ain't nobody said power forward all season long. We said power forward. You come from a Power 5 conference, you gotta have a power forward. Okay, I don't want a point forward. I want a power forward. Somebody that's getting out there doing the dirty work. I watched that Purdue game yesterday with Texas. Okay, it was a lot of struggling between power forwards and centers. Okay, there's a lot of elbows. I felt like the game stopped 30 times because they was just getting tied up on each other. And I feel like, you know, after watching the tournament up until this point, you know, when is the last time, and I could be wrong, but when's the last time we saw a player garner post position and fight for it, you know, on the block, put their hand up? You know what I mean? I feel like I haven't seen it all tournament, but now it is a thing that is happening more so because the game has to slow down. These are the better teams. You just can't run up and down the court and score. You have to get into your half court sets. Your big men who not only have the ability to handle the ball but also make decisions. Right? This is their time. You know, it's widely of the excuse me. Well, let's change that. The game that is translated to the NBA has widely affected the college game, and I get it. Times are changing. You know, the old guard is the old guard. Gone are the days of Chris Webber. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Hansborough. You know, guys that get down there and don't do nothing but, you know, hit you with the shimmer and go over the back. I get it, but every once in a while, especially when you get down to what is now going to be the Elite Eight, you gotta have some big boys in there, and they better be ready to go because the rest of the term is going to be down to the nitty gritty, and teams like Arizona, Duke, UConn, Iowa State. You know, we'll see what happens with them shortly. Yeah, they got guys on that bench that you might not know their name, but they done been in them schools 2 and 3 years doing nothing but lifting weights and eating in that cafeteria, and they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. So that's my take on what's been going on. So
can you imagine? Go ahead, Bobby.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I would say another thing would be kind of surprising to see the Big Ten reestablish itself as like the best all-around conference, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've always been a conference that probably had the most schools who had good football teams as well as basketball teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of went on a slump basketball-wise where, you know, like Michigan fell off. Indiana kind of fell off. But now you got 6 teams to the, you know, the most surviving teams in there and kind of them coming back as that complete conference. That's been kind of enjoyable.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We're gonna get into that.
Can you imagine one of the most underrated rivalries in sports is the Cy-Hawk rivalry between Iowa and Iowa State?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we get a Cy-Hawk rivalry matchup in the Final Four? Because we potentially could still get that.
We could potentially see that. That is definitely something that we could be looking into. And I am here for it. Big shouts out to everybody tuning in right now on YouTube. Everybody tuning in on Instagram. Make sure do us a big favor. Get us a share in real quick, man, because some people want to hear this basketball talk. If it ain't for me, maybe for Bobby or maybe for my boy AP. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it, man. So let's start at the top, man. Right now, we're going to get into what I thought was a dominant performance by a number 1 seed and somebody we're gonna have to look out for, especially going forward. We're talking about Arizona, man. Arizona brings the heat to the Elite Eight. They are the most complete and the most elite. One time for our guy, Evan Wheeler. Evan Wheeler, where are you? We waiting for Evan Wheeler to show up. Evan should be showing up right now, but Evan has been one of our good most spirited correspondents on the show here for the last few weeks or so. And one of his phrases were the most elite and the most complete. And that is what he dubbed Arizona. We got an example of what that looks like as Arizona took on Coach Cal, that's right, Calipari, and the Arkansas Razorbacks that were forged by the play of Darius Aycock. Now, team wise, y'all, team wise, we we oftentimes think, man, it's some things missing from teams like in Arizona. Where is where is the scoring going to come from? Where is their star player? Who's going to handle the ball in the last 20 or 30 seconds? But we forget that this is a team of a full team. I don't care who's on that court. Those boys can score. And I think the idea that I brought up in my soliloquy earlier is that they got some big guys, they got some big boys playing tough defense. From what you guys saw yesterday, man, is this a dominant performance that we'll see more often going forward from Arizona? And can they take that same style of play, not just into the Elite Eight, but maybe all the way to the national championship?
Why not? I mean, you have the greatest role player in the history of college athletics, Bryce James, waiting in the wings. So waiting to win his championship now. But nah, yeah, they can. I mean, they just look good. They look like a team on a mission. Like they didn't come into this tournament to play around. It's like we have a job to do. Let's get it done. They're playing both ends of the court extremely well. They're not getting frazzled. They're sticking to their game plan. They're executing. Like what else can you say? They almost kind of look like they're tired of hearing about everything. Like we're tired of hearing about Michigan. We're tired of hearing about Duke. We're tired of hearing about like it's us. It's been us the whole time, and they're like they are making a name for themselves.
So I've been able to actually keep an eye on Arizona for a majority of the season. Obviously, with us doing Lock It In, Tanner being a Big 12 guy, we keeping an eye on the Big 12 conference as it goes up. Big 12 is really, really good at basketball altogether, top to bottom. They're one of the best basketball conferences in the country. Arizona midseason went on a historic run. They won a school record, I want to say it was like 27, 28 games in a row to open the season. Most wins in program history overall for a season. But about midway, once they broke that record, they got punched in the mouth 2 weeks in a row by Kansas and by Iowa State. They got punched in the mouth 2 weeks in a row. And essentially people started writing them off as like, oh, no, here comes Arizona. They're about to head back down to earth. And you know what? They haven't lost a game since. Like you said, Bobby, they've been on a mission since that moment, since they got punched in the mouth. They're like, this is our year. We're going to go make them pay for it. So Arizona's played well. They've been dominant. And I agree to the fact that I think they can not only ride this out through the Elite Eight, but to win a national championship as well. And that'll be great for me because I picked them to win in a bracket. So.
Yeah, definitely. We kind of went through it. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about top tier offenses, we especially in college, we want to see the star arise a little bit when it comes to college basketball. We want to see where we can put our focus at. You know what I mean? Because the college game is a little bit different because especially now with the NIL. So the teams, are oftentimes reforming from one year to another. Gone are the years of he's there 2 or 3 years. This year he's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But Arizona built somewhat of a formidable force through doing it the old school way, still with of course a good bit of NIL dollars being spent. I like the idea that hey, look, it's not it's no big eyes and little U's when I'm watching them play. Um, it's all a team thing, and for me, what else can I say? When you see the defense go out there and put it on a solid Arkansas Razorback team who was formidable not just in the tournament but also throughout the season. I'm sorry, bro. There's only a couple of other teams who I've seen defensively stifle their opponent. You know what I'm saying? And made it this far. And a couple of them we'll be talking about later, as with that Iowa State matchup. Um, it's really hard to say, whether or not they can take it all the way to the national championship. I think that they got the skills to pay the bills to make it there. But somewhere in what I want to see is like, hey, look, it's the last 2 minutes. Who's the ball going to go to? Just about every other team that we may mention later on in the show, like we can look at a stat line, we can look at that roster, and we can go, oh yeah, the ball's going in his hand. Yeah, that's the one. And maybe we need to get more acquainted with Arizona so that we can identify that person a little more better. But the point is for me with Arizona, I feel like the ball is moving around the perimeter at a fast pace. It's not really being held up. They are moving, but the main thing is that defense leading to transition baskets. You know what I'm saying? They stopping cats on the other end. They're not getting a second chance because they slowing down. They stopping you from offensive rebounding, and then it's off to the races. Here we go. You know what I mean? And that's what I like the most when I'm watching Arizona.
Yeah, and it's like not a lot of teams could do what they just did. If you asked or if you told any coach, and I don't even care what level, with high school, AAU, pro, college, if you told any coach, hey, your best player is going to score 30 tonight. He's going to shoot about 47%. He's going to get to the free throw line 15 times. He's only going to turn the ball over twice. They're taking that to the bank. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're going to lose that game by 20 anyway. Like, that's wild. That is wild. That's absolutely wild.
Well, it's kind of the thing we've seen not only in college sports too, but in the NBA as well. The concept of team basketball kind of coming back, and that's kind of what Arizona's been doing all season. Like Whit said, there hasn't really been a one or two guys who have stood out on that team. It's just been all five guys coming off the bench, playing as a unit, playing as a team, and one of the rare teams in the country that has players that have been there more than 1 year, more than 2 years. You've got some seniors still on that team, which is very uncommon in today's game. So it's the concept of staying in school and the concept of playing team basketball is what has propelled Arizona to where they're at right now.
And like I said it on another show, and I'll say it now. As we get closer to the Final Four, coaching is going to play a part in this, and we just gotta give him a shout out, man. Real talk. Go ahead, do it right now. Let's go ahead and get us up. Coach Tommy Lloyd, okay, entering his 5th season with the Wildcats. Now, this right here is where we got to say, hey, who is this guy? Came out of Gonzaga, was a long-time assistant there, and turned the Wildcats into a top 5 program these last 4 or 5 years. They've only lost 2 games. I mean, they got as high as number 2 in the AP, in both the AP and the coaches poll. 29 regular season wins is a big deal. And even though they started taking some butt cuttings later on in the roster, I mean, a roster full of killers is what you kind of end up with. Braden Burris, Cole Pete, Jaden Bradley. They consistently delivering highlight moments not only in the regular season but in the postseason. Um, you know, guard play is oftentimes one of the things that we rely on going into the Final Four and the Elite Eight, and they got it. They it's one of those things where, hey, look, they have not been in the Elite Eight since 2015. What can they do now? And I'm excited to see it, man. So big shouts out to the Arizona Wildcats. What can you do for a Klondike bar? Which technically the
Whoa.
Klondike bar would be at the end, the Klondike bar at the end, the championship. What would you do for it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on with them. Now, moving forward, this one right here is a good one. We kind of led into it a little bit when Bobby talked about this conference, and we got to talk about it because we haven't really, shined any light on it so far. So it's the biggest and the baddest, man. The Big Ten has 6 teams in the Sweet 16. What are we missing? Now, I'm on the East Coast. Allen is Midwest. Bobby, you all the way on the West Coast. I get very little. I get very little Big Ten coverage. You know what I'm saying? Very little Big Ten coverage.
Mhm.
On my sports package on YouTube TV, I got the ACC network. I got the SEC network. I don't got the Big Ten network. Does Big Ten have a network?
They do.
Okay, yeah, I don't got the Big Ten network. You know what I mean? But to say that Purdue and was playing Iowa, what? I was real caught off guard by the level of play that I got a chance to see this postseason. So someone like Allen, who is out there in the area, probably has absorbed just a little bit more of the Big Ten than I have. Bobby, maybe you as well. What are we missing that we should have shined a light on weeks ago to say, hey, this is possible. You know what I'm saying? These kids are here to play. Like, any of you got 10 cents on that?
I mean, with some of the teams in the Big Ten, I mean, obviously with Michigan State, you have one of the best coaches in college basketball history in Tom Izzo, so you kind of expect them to kind of hang around every once in a while. But yeah, with Michigan, they kind of found their way back after not having been there for a few years. You look at teams like Illinois, who kind of came out of nowhere late in the season, Nebraska, who won their first tournament game in school history, Iowa, who's the Cinderella darling right now in the tournament left. It's just been fun. It's just been fun to watch because, like, again, I did not expect this from the Big Ten this year because I think you said it earlier. When you think Big Ten, you don't normally think basketball. You really don't, because especially with some of the blue blood schools like Ohio State and Michigan, you really, other than really Michigan, you don't really think basketball Big Ten. But they've been playing very, very well this year, and like you said, we got 6 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16, whereas the SEC, a lot of them got eliminated early, and really the only 2 that were left were Texas and Arkansas. So, I mean, the SEC was kind of down altogether too this year. Other than Florida, the SEC itself was just really down this year. So, I think that has to do with it. I think also the fact that we had a lot of late surges by a lot of Big Ten teams, Illinois, Nebraska being 2 of those, Iowa as well. But yeah, the Big Ten, I would call it regardless of what happens in the rest of the way, I would call it a huge success for the Big Ten in 2026, just by the results alone and how far most of their teams got through, especially in the tournament.
Yeah, it's just like they're having a renaissance, or like a time machine back to the early '90s when you had the Fab Five in Michigan. You had Purdue's actually savage with Glenn Robinson. You had Indiana with Calvin Chaney and those boys. Michigan State, literally the conference was literally stacked, top to bottom, basketball wise. And then you hit that rough patch, and Michigan went through what they went through. Uh, Michigan State kind of carried the weight of the entire conference for like 20 years. It seems like where they were consistently competitive on the national stage, and Ohio State kind of just turned into a straight football school. Uh, Same thing with Iowa. Same thing with Purdue. Like it just the basketball programs just kind of fell by the wayside, and I don't even know what the explanation was, man. The one and I guess with the one and done, they just didn't feel like the sexy schools to go to, right? um, and now it seems like the NIL, we got those donors and boosters, putting their resources to good use to bring the conference back. So, making these schools now places that you want to go. Obviously, the conference is garnering attention because of what they're doing on the football, collegiate football stage. Uh, and now the lights been shining on basketball. So, I mean, it's good to see it's making it competitive. It's good to see the conference competitive on the national stage again.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one. Parity in sports is a great thing. So to see the Big Ten make a resurgence, you know what I'm saying? Once again, like here goes another coach name that I feel like I've been saying all my life for watching sports. Man, Tom Izzo has been putting players into the NBA for the last 20 years. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like players have been coming out of Michigan State and thriving, or at least making an impact on whatever team they went to. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Draymond Green, we got Quentin Richardson. You know what I'm saying? It's a list of players that did that went through Michigan State. So to say now they we out here like with Jeremy Fears Jr. is it's a real deal. It's a real deal team. Like it's a real deal conference. I know you might, just like you said, Bobby, we might be thinking more about football, but it's really out here. They really out here in the streets right now. Hey, what Nebraska? Hello, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Started the season 20-0, the best start in school history. All right. Iowa
doing better than their football team, that's for sure.
For sure doing better than the football team. Iowa. When we talk about Iowa, dog, like I don't know Iowa for nothing except for like Tornado Alley. You know what I'm saying? And bad memories of the movie Twister.
Hey, the Iowa 80 truck stop. What you talking about?
Okay, I hate the Iowa truck stop. We shout out to Jay, man. Truck stops, he been there. It's a real deal thing to say, man, this team has been produced, or the conference has been producing, and you know what I'm saying. That ain't gonna do nothing but make it, more feasible money wise, monetarily. Let's go ahead and get some more NIL dollars so we allocate it to these teams. What's my man name? Alvaro Fogueras. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does he come from? But then, of course, with the way that the leagues themselves are going, we get you somebody from Europe to play on the team right now. Since the kids don't want to come, we get you a nice European guy like Alvaro Fogueras. You know what I'm saying? The iconic name. He won he got the knockdown shot. Knocked off the defending champs. Where did he come from? Oh yeah. He's NIL money. There it goes. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how it works. It looks like we got one of our guests in the back. We're gonna let him get situated. We're gonna bring him up in a minute. But you know what I'm saying? Once again, when it comes to these teams, Iowa, Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan, Illinois, Michigan State, I'm gonna say this, right? I watched the Purdue game yesterday, Purdue versus Texas. Let me tell you something. That was a real game, bro. Like a real game, and somehow, some way, I don't know why we don't get a chance to pay that enough attention or as much attention as we should. It's uncommon to see, what I'm saying, the way that they play out there in Purdue be put on the TV screen and say, hey, those guys could win a national championship. But speaking of which, winning national championships, man, we're gonna bring in one of our guests, man, a good friend of mine. Awesome to have met him in person, and then all of a sudden, be put in a place where I could network with him, connect with other people when it comes to not just basketball but life in general. Real cool cat. Finished, if I'm not mistaken, finished second back in the day to only Amari Stoudemire at the Mr. Basketball competition here in Florida. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Wolfson High School's own Will Holland. What would it do?
What's going on, fellas?
Yo, man, Will, man, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. Welcome to In the Hoop. We got Bobby G, we got AP, we got me, man. We were just talking about what's been going on as far as this past Sweet 16. Of course, we trimming it down a little bit now. With the Sweet 16, we got 6 teams from the Big Ten Conference, bro, and those teams, of course, being Iowa, Iowa State, Iowa, Nebraska, Michigan State, Michigan, Purdue, and Illinois. A conference like that making this much noise, man, where we used to see teams from the SEC and the ACC, what you attribute to that doing, being a big thing? Is that that's that NIL money kicking in probably?
No, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Okay. I think I'm just happy to see real basketball winning. Because a lot of these teams that's left, they playing real basketball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the top heavy NIL guys are, sitting at home watching. So,
For sure.
this is teams that are running real sets. They're running real offenses. They're not just giving the ball to a couple guys, letting them go one-on-one. They out here. These teams that are left right now, I can honestly say all of them are out here playing some real basketball.
For sure. Well, we were just pretty much saying the same thing. Like the defense that we got to see, is attributing to them being able to play on the other end. That transition basketball is killing a lot of cats. And then I was saying, between that Purdue and that Texas game yesterday, I never seen so much posting up and tussling for paint position in this whole tournament. But
Right.
But I'll even go backwards for you because you missed this first one, right? So we were talking about Arizona and them being, grab that. Yeah, we were talking about Arizona and them being one of the most complete teams in the tournament. Of course, coming in with a number 1 seed. When you look at a team like Arizona, although in another conference, like this is another team kind of built like the right way, so to speak. And they playing different. They running plays. They playing defense. Like, how you feel about Arizona in this year's tournament?
Yeah, they look good. They look good. It's and that's the thing I think we all love, even non-basketball fans, about the tournament is, any given night, whoever somebody can get hot, somebody can get in foul trouble, somebody can get hurt. I mean, it's not best out of 7. It's just that night, that night anybody could do it. So, I think all the teams left have a chance to really win the national championship.
Yeah, most definitely, man. This is one of those. This is one of those years where, one false move, man. It could have been. Duke could have been out if only with a couple more calls just a minute ago. And of course, Alan, you got to give us a update on the score, moving forward, man. But like right now, as we have a second to talk about what's going on with.
I believe UConn is beating the brakes off of Michigan State right now.
See, that's exactly what I was going to say.
And then the Iowa State, Tennessee just got started, so they're early in that one. So
yeah,
it's 11-10. Tennessee up 11-10.
Yeah, UConn's only up 8.
Yeah, see, eight ain't bad. See, but okay, UConn is another one. UConn was built from the ground up, and we can't ignore them. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll come back to you with this one, right? Of course, it's not on the rundown, but the team itself, and then the coach, right? Coaches are about to have been making a name for themselves when it comes to the Elite Eight, the Sweet 16, all the way down to the national championship. With a
Mhm.
coach like running the show like they do at UConn, of course he get a little fiery. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right,
He give you
right.
a little something to listen to in the press conference. But I mean, with what they got going on in UConn should be another team that we pay more attention to, right?
100%, 100%, because they're very systematic, and that system has been proven to work in the past. So, you can't bet against it.
You're on mute.
Here with
Oh yeah. I'm talking at the same time. So yeah, so looking at the picture as it is, man, I can't wait to see which one comes out of this bracket. So, last but not least, as far as college goes, guys, I would be remiss to not think about this and talk about it with the homies, especially since Will here. You know what I'm saying? Him having had been one an outstanding player. I think he can relate to this, but at the same time, he can look at it from another view because he's coaching the youth. He gets to see them, raised up to higher levels. And I appreciate him joining us on the show today. So right, there's no more diaper dandies, basically, man. They all gone. They all went home, like Will mentioned.
Yeah.
Which of the bigger three, pretty much, set their mark to be number one in the draft in this coming year. Because of course we had the Banster. We just seen Acuff, and we heard about him getting the shoe deal with Reebok and AI. And then of course we had some Peterson. We had some Peterson sightings. You know what I'm saying? He was sick. He wasn't sick. He had a hamstring. It was a couple things going on with him. Shout out to our guy Tanner, who's a big KU fan. So fellas, man, when we think about the big three as of right now, which one of them pretty much put a stamp on the tournament and said, yeah, this is the one going number one. Who want to go first on that?
I mean, it's really going to depend on who ends up winning the lottery. But if I had to pick between them, it's probably Acuff because he has had a masterful NCAA tournament. I know it's not the result Arkansas would have liked, especially in their last game. But, to me, he's kind of put his stamp out there, and I would not be surprised if he's the one that goes number one overall in the draft next year.
I would go with the Banter only because the odds are in his favor. Like, not too many teams are going to be picking, who have potential to pick number one. I think we counted the other day. There's like one team who really needs a point guard who could potentially be picking number one. I think the Banter is just his versatility, and he has the highest upside. And, NBA scouts and GMs love that word, upside. So I would put it in favor of the Banter. With an outside chance at Cam Boozer because he still has an opportunity to show his ability to carry a team. I think the thing that puts him behind the eight ball is the same thing that did his father, and just that lack of explosive athleticism. So, but for right now, I would say the Banter.
Yeah, I look at Cam Boozer as a potential bust in the league. I kind of compare him to like a Boris Diaw or like a Rodney Rogers or I don't really see him doing too good in the NBA just because he's not athletic. He plays a lot with his back to the basket. He's a brute, and that's kind of over with. But as far as that top three, I definitely would take AJ simply because the worst thing you can be in this NBA is an under 6'4" guard. Simply because if you look at every NBA roster, and look at their starting guard and look at their backup, that's going to be two killers, and it's going to be hard to crack that rotation. With any organization. And then the thing about AJ is he's 6'9", and you can't teach that.
Right.
And in NBA, they don't fight through screens no more. They switch everything. So you really want a bunch of 6'8" guys on the floor so you don't have to, everybody can switch. So he will be way more valuable in the long run in the NBA just because defensively they switch everything now. So, that's just gonna make him fit better.
I feel you on
Who's a
that one.
bust? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big one. Hey, listen, big shouts out to everybody once again checking us out on YouTube. It's your boy K with your mama's number one draft pick. This is the Rec Room Sports crew. This is Rec Room Sports Hub. Right now, we doing in the hoop. We got my guy Will Holloman out here in the building. Shout out to Big Will. We got Bobby G, of course, from Audible Sports Podcast with Life Sport We Culture. Then, of course, we got our boy AP Allen in the building. We talking about the
I got
draft.
that lean buzz cut going on. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you know
talking
what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to AP with the clean cut. But we talking about the draft and the
Thanks, I did it myself.
hey, hey, look, save a dollar, boy. I get mine every once in a
For
while.
real.
You know, in real life, I think I'm more. I like what Will said. It kind of changed my answer because I can't lie. Darius Acuff had me locked in, because it's very, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't a big AI fan, but I was a fan of AI's game back in the day. I was a huge fan of his game and how it seemed like, man, you know, it really didn't matter who was in there. Allen Iverson was going to figure out a way to get the bucket. You could put the ball in the hole. You could give him the ball in the last 2 minutes, and he was going to either catch up or win the game. I feel that very same way about about Darius Acuff. But Will said it, bro. You can't teach 6'9". You can't. A really good example of how teams build a roster, like Will said, they not switch, they not fighting through screens no more. Everybody's switching. Look at the Atlanta Hawks, bro. The Atlanta Hawks got 5 or 6 light-skinned young men. All of them are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". They switching all over the court. Everybody look like, you know what I'm saying, they got European descent somewhere, and it works though, and it works. The Atlanta Hawks are a prime example of, you know, the GM taking a different route because, you know, if you know, the NBA is full of parity. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 years ago, we were doing nothing but looking for shooters to surround centers, and that's kind of how we got to what was going on with Golden State. Now, I guarantee you, the next thing is what we see not only in a place like Atlanta, but when they get it together. Look at Utah. I know. I said Utah. I'm sorry, but look at Utah. Okay, Utah's got 3, 4 guys, 5, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", rolling in, and then 2 or 3 more on the bench who don't do nothing but switch. So if you put somebody like AJ on a roster like Utah, or, you know, God forbid, please, oh no, God forbid they get to OKC. You know, you stick them on an OKC bench, man, it's a wrap. So I really got to rethink my answer, man. But I think I'll go with AJ. You know, and then the boy put up what, 34, if I'm not mistaken.
35.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, he went out there and tried. He went out there and put the team on his back. And I think for a last performance at a school like BYU, you got to do something like that. BYU ain't seen nothing like that since Jimmy Fredette, and Jimmy wasn't doing it like AJ was. You know what I'm saying? It was a different kind of game. But you know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to Jimmy Fredette. Jimmy Fredette out there dropping 70 on them boys in China. Okay, straight up. Jimmy Fredette, still, like right now, Jimmy Fredette is a bucket.
He is. He definitely is.
You know,
Definitely a bucket.
For sure. Moving on. This is one of the ones, man. I think everybody will get in on this one. And of course, in the comment section, man, you can always put your comments in and chime in on the conversation. I think this is a good one. Last week, Victor Wembanyama, post-game press conference, man, he said some things. And I like the way that he kind of posed it to the media, because, you know, when you win, everybody locked in on what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's hearing you. They got their microphones or their iPhones. They all pointed at you. So when you say something powerful, you got a strong statement, you know, it presses everybody's button in their brain, like, oh man, he thinking. You know, a lot of times we compare Victor Wembanyama to, he's non-comparable. You know, he's a one of one. But this moment had me thinking, like, man, he been hanging around Kareem Abdul-Jabbar too long, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a Kareem moment. So if you don't know, right, Victor Wembanyama in the post game sat there and basically said, okay, so if I'm leading in three statistical categories. One of the main ones being defense. If I'm leading the league in blocks and rebounds and defensive rebounds and so on and so forth, and I'm also, top 5 in scoring and this and that, if those three things, are where, and I'm paraphrasing right now, if I'm doing those three things, does that not mean I'm the MVP? That don't make me the MVP. And he looked everybody in the eye. He looked everybody in the eye. Nobody could say nothing. So fellas, man, is Wemby versus the world, man? Does he have a point when about what stats lead to MVP conversation?
To me, it really has nothing to do with stats. It's the fact that the Spurs are playing at a high level. He's playing at a high level. The fact that they've done great against some of the top tier teams, including Oklahoma City, which is something not many people can say in the NBA right now. It's a very valid point. And if I were to pick today, it would be Victor Wembanyama over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because you've seen at times, even when Shai is out of the lineup, OKC can still win. They have a deep enough bench to where they can still compete and still win games at a high clip. The Spurs are a completely different team without Wemby on the court. So to me, it's more so. Yes, you could say the stats are there to back it up. More so to me, it's the impact Wemby has on the team more than anything that makes him the MVP for me.
He's got a point. I mean, to a degree. I would give Adam a little pushback. The stats, it mean a little something, because if it wasn't for that, Chauncey Billups should have got MVP in 04. You know what I mean? For that Pistons squad. So you got to, stats are going to take effect, but it is more than that. It's a look, it's a feel. It's your impact on the team. It's your impact on winning. That's why certain players, and I'll take y'all know how I feel about Trae Young. I've been calling this dude out for years because I call him Mr. Empty Calorie, right? Everything he does, he's got the numbers, he's got the all-star teams, but those numbers don't translate to winning basketball. Same thing with a Kyrie Irving, right? There's a difference between Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, and SGA. Like, numbers could be the same, but there's something different, right? And Wemby provides that, and I know, the haters gonna come for me when I say this. Victor Wembanyama is still learning how to play basketball. He honestly does a lot of things just because he's 7'5". Like, being 7'5" and having a 30-foot wingspan does a lot for you. There's some things. He's not perfected yet. He's got some things to work on, but what he is doing, what he means for the Spurs, he should be in the race. I wouldn't lock him in, but I mean, he can say what he wants. If he feels that's how he feels.
And before Will goes, I want to play it real quick for the people that's watching, because I think and you know what I'm saying. Me talking about it and us talking about it doesn't give it enough context. You got to look at him when he talking. He looked like he looked. You see what I'm saying? This is Kareem. He hanging around. This is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar posture right here. Okay, you know what I'm saying? He is hanging with the greats, and he is like, and it's it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even
Three arguments.
say I got 3 questions. I got 3 arguments.
My first one would be that defense is 50% of the game, and that it is undervalued so far in the MVP race, because I believe I'm the most impactful player defensively in the league. Second argument would be that we almost swept OKC in the season, and we dominated them 3 times with their real team and 4 times with the, more rotation players.
Turbo, I see you, boy.
And my third argument would be that offense impact is not just sports. 3 arguments.
Yeah. So it's deep. It's deep, Will.
I don't think it's a discussion. But for somebody who grew up watching real basketball, if you really understand what's going on, um, two people on every NBA roster are going to have close to a triple double every night because no one is running plays anymore. So you
Mhm.
got one person dominating the ball. They either going to drive to score, shoot a three, or they're going to drive and kick for somebody else to shoot a three. So you're going to get either points, assists every play. Then all you got to do is go get 9, 10 rebounds and you got a triple double. That's why my whole life triple doubles were unheard of. Now, if you really pay attention, you're going to have two people on every NBA roster almost get a triple double every night.
Mm.
So I don't think those numbers are as impressive as people think. Just because if you don't make me run no plays and I just get to create all night, like I create everything, I dribble the whole shot clock, do 8 moves. I mean, these guys are good. Like, how can they not score or get an assist every time? Right. So I think Wemby came along and really showed people like he's really an anchor on the defensive end as to where people are not going to the rim when they play against the Spurs at all.
At all.
So, and you can't blame him for being 7'5" with a 20-foot wingspan. We just got to say it is what it is. Like, you know,
It's not
I think
blame,
they're
but
gonna keep in the
it's
playoffs too.
context. It's context. So, do you think he would be the same defensive player if he was 6'11"?
Absolutely not. But think about what makes people good in the NBA. Would LeBron be good if he wasn't 6'9" with a 44-inch vertical?
Yes, because his best attribute was his IQ and his passing. He'd have been Steve Nash.
Steve Nash shot 40, 50, 50, 40, 90. LeBron couldn't do that. LeBron can't shoot.
Brown still would have averaged 15 and 15 if he was a 6'8" point guard
No,
without
no, LeBron can't. LeBron could. You tried Steve Nash. Steve Nash was in the 50, 40, 90 club. LeBron is not an efficient shooter like that.
Yeah, but he still has one of the highest IQs of all time and was one of the greatest passers of all time. Me saying Steve Nash had nothing to do with the shooting; it was about
Now, if you would have said Jason Kidd, if you would have said Jason Kidd, I would have agreed with you.
He was a better shooter than Jason coming into the league.
LeBron?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I think they buy equal. I think they buy equal.
Nah. Jason Kidd shot 35%.
LeBron was somewhere in there. LeBron was somewhere in there first.
LeBron shot 47%.
And I think LeBron is way more efficient now than he was at one point in time. He get 15, 18 points on like 7, 8, 9 attempts. And he get, just like Will said, he getting that triple double. You know what I'm saying? That LeBron is a triple double machine right now because not only can he get the rebound off the glass, but he's gonna push that rock and get it to where it needs to be so that so the next person can score.
But how can you not get a triple double if nobody has to run a play? If I'm able to just dribble till my man get tired, how can you not get it? I mean, come on.
Yeah, see that
It's different basketball, man.
You know, and listen, this what I say, right? You know, I feel like this is another episode of NBA fatigue right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we get the voters and the people watching, the eyeballs are getting fatigued with Jokic. Jokic is one of them players where like we'll talk about Jokic eat a triple double in his sleep. You know what I'm saying? And his IQ is off the charts. He get to one of them elbows, man, and he watched the world move around him in slow motion. That's what Jokic is best known for, being 7 foot, can't jump off a phone book. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he do. But then somebody like Wemby, when you just like we look at the stats, if you throw in the defense, if you like he said, if you put in 50% of the game in the hands of, he affect the world, man. It's a different game because even, and the thing is, let's say even when he's not on the court, they still play different. You know what I mean? Because you don't want the coach to go, all right, but put Wemby back in. So you try to run it a little different. But like we'll say, man, you cannot teach him being 7'6". You can't teach that.
True.
You can't teach that. That's one of those things. But if he was, but this is my thing. If he was 6'11", he'd be the French KG.
First KG.
He'd be the French Kevin Garnett. He would pick up on. I think for real, this was just my observation. Seeing him do like 5 things this season. One of them being hanging with the monks. The other one being, as soon as he got finished hanging with the monks, he getting yelled at by KG on a football field.
Yeah.
We supposed to be a basketball team. Why are we supposed to be in the gym and you got Kevin Garnett on the bleachers at a football field? You know what I'm saying? Screaming at you with a green hoodie.
It would be my pushback to the second point, though. We talked about dominating the Thunder. Okay, I give you that. So Donovan Mitchell swept you, though. So should he be higher on the MVP ladder than you?
Yeah. It's a different, and I see
it ain't different. No, he said
it's a different sample. It's a different sample because
it ain't.
It's because the OKC Thunder are the champs.
You talking about dominated them? Well, this dude dominated you. So should he be higher because he dominated you? He beat you twice. You beat him 0.
It's apples to oranges, man. They still
ain't. It's head-to-head competition. That's what.
But you're not gonna get up to play against Donovan Mitchell's team, though. You're gonna get up to play the OKC. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell he ain't done nothing yet to where people like, oh shoot, we playing Donovan Mitchell and them tonight. We gotta but if you playing OKC, you really turning up.
We were the favorites to come out of the East at the time. You say you're not getting up for a potential finals matchup?
Oh yeah, well, so my bad.
On top of that, I beat you the first time, so you're not getting up for the game when I come back at you. You saying
Donovan Mitchell is a choke artist though in the playoffs.
Not against. Actually, Donovan's not a choke artist. The team just lost. He performs.
Let the hate flow through.
Yes, let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk that. Gotta watch the game. He performs. The team. Yeah. What? Look at this.
He go to another city, man.
And look, we can kind of let's stem off into that right quick because we got plenty of time. We only just did our. Once again, this is the Rec Room Sports Hub. It's your boy K. Witt. We got Will Holloman in the building. We got AP in the building. We got Bobby G. So let's jump into that right now. Like right now, the Eastern Conference is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the resurgence of teams like the Atlanta Hawks, the Charlotte Hornets, the addition of James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think that the Eastern Conference has been this up in the air in recent years. It used to be 2 or 3 clear-cut favorites. You could say the Celtics is going to win it all. You could say New York is going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. When they was completely healthy, you could throw the Pacers in there like 2 or 3 years in a row. This one of them years, man. Back in the day, back in the 90s, that 8-1 matchup, when the Nuggets beat who did they beat? The Sonics or something?
Yeah, the Sonics.
Yeah, this is one of those years, man, with the Eastern Conference, man. Will, you got your eye on the pulse of the people. When you think about the Eastern Conference right about now, bro, like where are you looking at for the upset or rather, the underdog to make some noise right now, bro?
I think that's why it's must-see TV because nobody's really claimed their stake as being dominant in the Eastern Conference. So that makes for I think that's what Adam Silver wants. Like that's gonna make for some really good playoff series just because no one has said like, hey, I'm here, y'all all playing for second place. Like no one has really said that yet. So I think that makes us sports fans really excited about watching the playoffs because I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I wouldn't bet on anybody in the Eastern Conference because to me, it's who's healthy and who gets hot at the right time.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree with you, especially when it comes to health. With top teams right now, Cade Cunningham with this collapsed lung in Detroit. That's scary for Detroit. Not to say that they can't produce without him, but I'm slowly but surely going, man. Look at Charlotte and look at Atlanta. You know what I mean? Look, and
you can't sleep on Atlanta.
No, not at all.
Can't sleep on Atlanta. Can't sleep on Atlanta.
And Bobby was one of those people last year saying trade Young.
Get him up out of here.
I mean, it worked out, didn't it?
Yeah. It worked out. But it's the NBA is a terrible place right now. And I was telling some of the little homies about this when we got done training the other day. Like, you got to think there was a time when we got to watch basketball when guys were playing for incentives in their contract, to make it to the playoffs, or they was playing for incentives to uh, get out the first round, or they everything was like incentivized, right? But now these kids are coming into the NBA, like AJ, for example. AJ gonna come in the NBA worth 15 million. A Cuff gonna come in the NBA worth 6 million.
Mhm.
So it's like, I don't think these players really care anymore because they're not
Mm-mm.
trying to really move out of their rookie contract. So, because everything used to be about getting out of your rookie contract and then getting to the money, but you had to prove yourself in the first couple of years to get to the money, and then you had to prove yourself that you could take a team to the playoffs to get the real money. But see, all that's out the window when everybody's coming in worth 5-6 million. Like, I just think a lot of guys would fold the tents now. Like, if if they like, oh man, we ain't gonna win this series, so what? Like, these guys been millionaires for 3, 4, 5 years now. So I don't think anybody's really sweating it. So it's gonna make for good parity, but I think this is gonna eventually catch up with the NBA in 5 or 6 years, where you're just gonna have nobody's gonna really care about trying to get to the push to be good because everybody's gonna be so rich.
With the parody part, I agree. I mean, just to throw an example, like the Cavs. Tonight was the first game of the season. We actually played with our lineup at 100%. Um, so they got like 2 weeks to get it together for the playoff start. You mentioned Atlanta on the rise, Charlotte's on the rise. They're getting their thing together. Um, the Cade Cunningham situation really throws a wrench in it, right? Even though I didn't believe Detroit would make a deep run anyway, it kind of throws a wrench in what could happen in that first round matchup. Should they run into the Hornets? Should they run into the Hawks? Hell, should they run into the Heat? As we all know, the playoff Heat are different. They can compete with anybody. Um, you know, what are we going to get from Carl Anthony? Are we going to get good Carl Anthony or bad Carl Anthony?
I don't know. We don't
I
know.
mean, is Jason Tatum really going to be able to hold up? I mean, he's looked good so far, but returning from that type of injury can be tricky, and it only takes one false step to tweak something like that. It's just a lot of question marks, and just like always, it's going to come down to who can be the most consistent and who can be the healthiest.
Right. I'm with you. 100%. Health is going to play a big part in this, man, because if when you look at what's going to be technically the play-in team, right? The play-in team, not the team that's going to make that's pretty much already in there, and that's pretty much the top 6. So let's say Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland, Atlanta, and we could switcheroo on Toronto and Philly because technically they right there with each other. But when I look at Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami, we just and I mix it up. It's an accident waiting to happen if you catch a healthy Philly. You know what I'm saying? It's an accident waiting to happen if you catch a healthy, all the way ready to rock Charlotte Hornets team.
And that's a trap to go to that city.
Oh yeah.
Because they ain't seen it. They ain't seen the playoffs in a while, so that city gonna be lit.
Yeah.
That game gonna be the
Charlotte's
energy
the
in that
hottest
arena
team
gonna be
right now.
crazy.
Charlotte's the hottest team in the East right now. They've won 5 in a row. So
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like, and Will, you probably can see it from a different angle than me, right? Because you know, LaMelo Ball pretty much been like how LeBron was watched from him being in high school. Y'all remember LaMelo Ball went and played ball overseas with grown-ups, and it was like on TV. You know what I'm saying? And people was, of course, we got Jello over there. Jello want to play pickpocket and steal cookies and say getting thousands of dollars for wanting to steal something is the craziest thing ever. But anyway, but LaMelo basically like we seen him grow up, bro. We literally saw him grow up, and now I think that like some of that friction that he probably had with just being like the middle boy, you know what I'm saying? Like I honestly don't have a lot of these issues or knowledge on this because I'm the only child. But I grew up with people that were really close to me that I wanted to be like my big cousin. I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to be just like my other cousin who was an artist. I wanted to be like my other cousin who was a real good drummer. My big cousin, everybody loved play football and basketball. Like I wanted to do that. So I know what that competition, breed. But when you're the middle child and you coming out, the baby and you coming out, you don't watch everybody else. He been watching them from the get-go get better. And from the time he could pick up a ball, he's coming out. I think this is just like the slate being wiped clean, man. I ain't got to worry about Jello. I don't got to worry about, Lonzo. I just got to worry about me. And that's it. And I think it's working for him, man. The team is on his shoulders, team's on his back. And y'all know what they remind me of, and I think Jay would like this. They remind me of that 2000s Trailblazers team. Well, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's scrappy. Everybody's not scrappy in a bad, not scrappy like Detroit scrappy, but like scrappy, okay. They could drop 22 on you, and we're gonna get to that rookie of the year conversation in just a minute.
You tried that Trailblazers team though.
Yeah,
you tried them. They had two starting fives.
Yeah, no, and my boy. I wish my boy Jay was here so he could definitely back you up. They had two starting fives. Everybody on that roster basically could have been or was a starter somewhere else. Ruben Patterson, Scottie Pippen, Brian Grant. The names is just coming out of there. Stoudemire, you know what I'm saying?
Brian Grant. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Bonzi Wells was the reason why I was wearing the headband in middle school and high school. You understand? I thought I was that person. I never thought I could be Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. But I was like, man, I could be Bonzi Wells. Yeah, I could do that. But anyway, so once again, the Eastern Conference, man, it's a mix up right here. But once again, and then I hate feeling this way, but y'all remember when earlier this season, like Joel Embiid was healthy, and it was like, ooh, look at this. Y'all remember that?
I do not.
But what my thing is, what if that happens again? You know what I'm saying? What if it happens again that in somehow, some way we got Tyrese Maxey and a healthy Joel Embiid. Paul George just returned. I want to say a few days ago back to the roster. Like, let's not sleep on what's going on with them in Philly as well.
Embiid's health means a lot, though. His health means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big question too.
Yeah. They're so perplexing. First, I love VJ. I love VJ Ashcombe. I wish he wasn't in Philly.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
Yeah. I wish he wasn't in Philly. But like the thing about them is like I like Tyrese Maxey. So all Tyrese Maxey and Philly fans, take what I'm gonna say with a grain of salt. Tyrese Maxey is a glorified Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford. He is a bucket. He's one of the best bucket getters in the league, but it just doesn't translate. Like he can't be the best player on the championship team, and it's so frustrating because of the way this team is constructed. Like you said, everything hinges on Embiid's health, but he's never going to be healthy. Like Philadelphia is so frustrating.
I don't in this NBA. I don't think a guard under 6'3" can be your best player to be a championship team. I don't think so.
I think it's possible. It just has to be the right team.
The right team, the right situation.
But
Like I couldn't see Jalen Brunson winning a championship. I couldn't see Trey Young leading the team to a champ. Like I
Trey
could see
Young
them
is
going crazy in the playoffs, but I don't see a 6'3" guard being your best player. Like I just don't see that. I don't see. They have to work too hard for buckets.
so I could say if Jalen Brunson was on the Thunder, I could still see them winning the championship.
But he wouldn't be the. I don't think with Shea. I don't think he'd be the best player on the
No, I'm
team.
saying take Shea off and put Brunson on.
Not because he takes Brunson. He takes away from a team too
He does,
because
but they
he
have
dribbles.
everything around them to. That's what I'm saying. Like I believe they still be a championship contender.
Those players wouldn't be as good though with Jalen Brunson because of his style of. See, those guards have to dominate the ball to be successful, and they have to play from the front. So Mike and Kobe, right? The reason why they were so good is because they can go to the short post, and the basketball game is behind them. So, like, if you bring a double, we just kicking it out that way. But when you a little guard, you're playing facing. You're facing the defense. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah, but
easier
he
to
posts
load
as
up,
well.
and then they can't see.
The
Because
Brunson
they
posts
can't
as
play with
well.
their back to the basket and bring a double team like Joker can, like Jordan could, like Kobe could. It's harder to play from the top of the key where those little guards play at.
Yeah, but Brunson can. He
I was
does
just
that
gonna, I was
too.
just gonna say that, Will, because
Yeah,
you
Brunson,
know,
he plays in the post.
yeah, you can compare to
But
it.
ain't nobody doubling Brunson in the post. Nobody's
Then
sending a double team to Brunson in the post. They
and that's
playing
why he
one on
averages
one.
30. That's why he averages 30.
That's why
Yeah,
you
but
have.
those are empty points. See, you have to demand a double team to be a like championship guys demand double teams. That's how it makes the game easy. If you're just going one on one, like, oh, I'm gonna kill y'all and get 50, I mean, that's gonna be cute, but that's not gonna take you to the finals. That hero ball don't win in the NBA, not with a
Yeah,
guard. It's
that's
never
what I'm
happened
saying.
before.
That's what I'm saying with the Knicks constructed right now. But put what he does in OKC, it
Then the-
works. And they're
But then
still damn still
the
as good.
team would suck though. The team wouldn't be as
No,
good if he was
no.
dribbling around the top of the key the whole night.
He wouldn't have to do that because the talent around him is better. That's what I'm saying. He
Now
He
does
has
somebody,
that
great
because of
talent.
what he has. He has okay talent.
No, he has great talent. That what's it?
Hmm.
Dang, and I forgot the dude name.
That tells you he ain't great.
No, no, he one of my.
I bet
What's
you
his
you can
name?
name
Ananobi.
OKC. I bet you
yeah,
can name
Ananobi.
OG
OKC's whole
Anunoby,
starting
yeah.
five.
Ananobi is one of the most valuable players in the NBA. He literally has no weakness.
That's why you got that chick. That's why
He can
Anunoby got.
shoot the three. He can guard every position on the floor. He can finish at the rim. He can play with his back to the basket. He, as a basketball player, has zero weaknesses.
And see, that's why
You
that's
know
why
who
Toronto look a
does what
little
he does
different.
way better?
You
Jalen
said what?
Williams. You know who does
Who?
exactly what he does, but way better? Jalen Williams.
I ain't gonna say way better. I ain't gonna say way better. I ain't gonna say way better because I'm gonna say Anobi's a better post defender than Jalen Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say
I
he's a
know
better post defender.
definitely a better post defender. And see, so this is what I was gonna say, right? Because you made a great point, Will. So for players that demand a double team that can play with their back to the basket, so like Allen would like that because hey, who plays with their back to the basket? Allen that demands a double team from OKC.
But K6-7 though.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, but exactly, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is true. You know what I'm saying. When we think about anybody, well, of course, two or three of the players from OKC who could demand a double team. One of them being, MVP candidate. You know what I'm saying. Of course, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, when you put that height in there, that does add a separate factor in there, man. For sure. So, hey, man, speaking of which, you know what I'm saying. Since we talking about the MVP, real quick, he got a cousin, man. He got a cousin over there in Atlanta in the Eastern Conference. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Nikhil Alexander Walker been putting up 27, 40. You know what I'm saying? In that Atlanta jersey. I think getting away and everybody probably has had this, but him being on that bench in Minnesota and having like Ant-Man to kind of defer to, I think was stifling his growth a little bit. Now we got Nikhil Alexander in Atlanta, where I ain't gonna say he got the green light, but he got more runway to do what he's doing. I like him out there, man. I wouldn't. I was thinking, he could be 6 man of the year type, but definitely he could, give it like another year. I can see him being on some third team All NBA for sure.
It's all about opportunity for these guys. I mean, all these NBA guys are better than you think. It's just who gets the opportunity to get them FGAs up, really. Because I'm a firm believer. I'll die on that hill that every guard in the NBA would come to your local LA Fitness
Oh yeah, palm out.
and score 10 out of 12 points for 10 games straight. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they all got it. It's just who gets the opportunity to get them FGAs up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because see, a lot of people don't understand. Like when I went to the D League, I found out the hard way that the NBA and D League, the minutes are scripted. So you'll
Mhm.
never see like put it like this. If you pay attention to the NBA, you'll see a guy get up and take off his warm up at a certain like the coach don't call him in the game. Like they already know when to get up and take their warm ups off.
Mhm.
So if you know that you that guy who gonna be out there this amount of minutes, this amount of minutes, this amount of minutes, you the guy who gonna get all the shots. And if you that backup guy, you know you're gonna get this little bit of minutes, this little bit of minutes.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So if you that guy who gonna be playing the bulk of the game and the ball is in your hands, you should flourish. And
Should.
if you can't, you'll probably be out the league.
Hey.
But most of those guys in there, they can all do it like that if they get the chance to.
Hey man, once again, this is the Rec Room Sports Hub right here in the middle of Rec Room Presents in the Hoop. It's crazy because right now we getting on about that hour and a half mark, and it's really, really showing that hey, look, we got some great people out here watching on YouTube and Instagram. Big shouts out to everybody who tuning in. My boy Bronco Turbo, what it do? I see you, my boy. In real life, we're getting to the end of the show. So we're gonna close it out with something we kind of glossed over a little bit, but we're gonna get into it right about now, right? So if y'all we all hoop fans, so y'all know what I'm about to get into, right? 94, 95, 99, and 2000. Maybe 25 and 26. Are we headed towards co-rookie of the year awards, or is there a clear-cut winner? Now I don't know, who everybody else thinking could be up there in the MVP race right now. But yeah, you could say VJ Edgecombe. You could. But the top two right now, Con Knipple and Cooper Flag. I'm gonna tell everybody this. And we got a chance to go to the EYBL League 3 years ago, and well, maybe really 4 now. And I'm telling you, they was going, man, it's 2 white dudes from Maine and they brothers. And we was like, huh? Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? And they was talking about Cooper Flag back then. But to see the rise of Con Knipple, I think is something I didn't expect. Watching the tournament last year, watching Duke, seeing him play in that system at Duke, but watching him be free, just like Will said, getting that opportunity, seeing him take the handcuffs off his game. In Charlotte, I don't think anybody. Well, at least we didn't. I don't think we saw that coming. I know Bobby's another guy that mentioned him as a shooter, but he doing way more than shoot right about now. So, fellas,
you weren't paying attention then, sir.
sir, but fellas, when we talk about it right now, when it comes to the co-rookie of the year idea, is that what is best for this year's rookie of the year race, or is there a clear-cut winner?
I'm looking at FanDuel right now. With speaking of lock it in, looking at the odds for this here. Con Knipple is actually the favorite at -200. Cooper Flag at +150. They do have VJ Edgecombe on here, but he's +25,000. So they basically said he has no chance. So it definitely is down between Knipple and Cooper Flag there for Rookie of the Year.
Okay. So yeah, Cooper Flag, Conk Nipple,
So yeah,
uh, Bobby G. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to one of the two or both, where you at with it right now?
It's Con Knipple ain't even close. Like, and just to take you back, I wouldn't talk about a shoot. I said Con Knipple was the most pro-ready player coming in this league. Now, long term, don't confuse that. Long term, Cooper Flag is a man. He's an amazing basketball player. He's gonna be one of the faces of the league. But this year, we're coming into this year, it was Colin Knipple. And I mean, he's been doing it all year. You know, Cooper had to ramp up. He had to adjust to the style of play, adjust to the game. Remember, he's a year ahead of schedule. He should be in college right now. He reclassified.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I felt Con was more prepared. Like his game is fundamentally sound. He does everything. And just everything will just tell you he's earned this. Uh, his shooting splits are better. His effective field percentage is better. His efficiency is better, and his win shares are double what Cooper Flags are. Now you can make the argument and say that's because Cooper Flags playing in Dallas talent, and I will give you all of that. But at the end of the day, you still got to perform. And Con Knipp was just performing. So this year, Con Knipp was the better player, deserves that award.
Yeah, man. Will, where you at with it?
I think a lot of people forget that the NBA is a business, and the NBA loses if Knipple gets the Rookie of the Year award,
What?
and they win if the NBA wins if Cooper Flag gets it because he has more of a potential. He already has his own shoe. He's already on commercials. He's already being put in place to be one of the faces to carry the lead once LeBron and this KD and all them retire. So I think they need to elevate him. So from a business decision standpoint, I think that he is going to get Rookie of the Year, because the NBA is always going to make business decisions.
Mm. Okay. So I want y'all to hear me out on this one. I want y'all to hear me out. We talked about the stats, and I'm gonna kick some to you now. I'm gonna kick some to you. So, stats wise, right now, Cooper Flag around like 20.3 points per game. Con can about 19 rebounds. Cooper Flag's leading with 6.5. Con got 5.5. Assists about 4.2. They let Cooper Flag do a little bit more ball handling. Con got about 3.4. Steals, Cooper Flag playing a little more defense, whatever, blocks, blah, blah, blah. I got it. I get it. One of the few things that we know for sure in my, as I'm saying this is, health wise, Conker Nipple has been more healthy and been allowed to play more games. I think that they put the brakes on Cooper Flag a little bit because, like Bobby said, he is a year ahead. He did reclassify. He's still growing technically. And they probably say, hey man, you know what? We're gonna let you cool off a little bit, let it sit down because the end result, the long term, the long con on this one is what's important. But then right now, the Hornets are plus 4.9 per 100 possessions when on the floor. That's crazy. The team is plus 6.4 per 100 possessions better with him versus when he's off. Cooper Flag is on that around that 56th percentile when it talks to court net rating. Okay, that's just a fancy way of saying that when they are a complete roster, Cooper Flag is more of a participant in them winning or them producing more points than the opposite team. But that's in that 56th percentile, and I think that 56th percentile basically leans towards him not necessarily being the person that has to score the bucket. He does a lot. He gets a lot of assists. Now, this is what I'm gonna say real quick. This is my point, right? Um, Stephen A. Smith said something maybe about a week or two ago. One of them days I was home from work, and I had to I sat up in my bed for this. Right now, Larry Bird is the consummate best American-born white player ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. And I'm not saying that it's not about race, but this is a point. It's a proven fact. When you talk about American-born Caucasian players, the best one forever will be or has been Larry Bird. Now, in the 2026, the year of our Lord 2026, just imagine if we put not one, but 2 white faces on the rookie of the year, bruh. 2 of them.
First of
And
all,
we
don't
said
disrespect Christian Leitner like that.
huh? I
First of
mean,
all,
but
don't
no,
don't disrespect Christian Leitner like
I'm
that.
not. I'm not. But see, Christian Leitner had the run. But I'm saying, just imagine, folks. Just imagine. You know what I'm saying? Any other time when we had the co-MVP, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. Grant Hill, Jason Kidd. I think the other one is Elton Brand and Steve Francis. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Elton Brand, Steve Francis. But just imagine we flip the basketball world on its ear, and we say it's Con Knipple and Cooper Flag. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because, and Will knows, Alan knows, Bobby, you know the same thing. The European player has come into American basketball and taken over. When's the last time we talked about an American player, an American-born player? If his name ain't LeBron James, if his name ain't Kevin Durant, if their name ain't Steph Curry, if their
What
name
about the
ain't
young boy in Miami?
huh?
I need a hero. I'm talking hero. Put some respect on that man's name.
Ah, man. I mean, I like Tyler Hero now, but I'm saying long term, we haven't heard an American-born American-born Caucasian player, bro. That's going to lead the league into the future one day.
And I
And
think that's why they have to give him MVP over because Knipple can't be that guy. He doesn't have the look. He doesn't.
they
He
can
doesn't
do.
have the
That's why I said they
personality.
can do 2. Just imagine 2 of them, bro.
And I listen. If I'm being honest, like as far as me being a basketball freak, I think Knipple is the rookie of the year. Personally, if you ask me who's playing better basketball on their team, he's the rookie of the year. But I just know the NBA is a business. And like you said, they finally got an American. And it's not even about him being white, it's about him being American born because all the top players in the league are foreigners.
Oh,
So black or white, he's from America. So we happy about that. He just so happens to be, you know what I'm saying? So like I think they need to push him um like you said, with LeBron and KD, Chris Paul, and that little era, D Wade, with all them stepping away, we have to have some Americans to cheer for.
right. And I say this, and we had like a really strong era of some of our favorite players, and then some of the other players that played big roles in the development of those things, or in between. We did have some really good American-born players who were either white or black. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come to the college game and when it comes to the NBA. So as I made my argument, I want anybody who's listening to me to not take what I'm saying as if this is a race baiting, rage baiting conversation. That is not my point. My point is that American basketball needs faces for the future. And we actually have 2, you know what I'm saying, who are making waves on 2 teams who in any other case, you know what I'm saying, they might I don't know where Dallas would be without Cooper Flag right now. You know what I'm saying, with all these trade with them getting rid of AD without Kyrie Irving. I don't know where Dallas
Kyrie
would be.
still hurt. Yeah.
Shoot. And Kyrie and I can't lie. If y'all got a chance, go check out them Kyrie sneakers he just released. For them to be some answer shoes, those some fire shoes. Okay. But anyway, I digress.
I'm ashamed at you, Alan.
Alex should hop up on them joints right there.
Yeah. No, not the guy. I'm ashamed of him. He hasn't mentioned the great American player Chet Holmgren. What are you doing, man? that was your time to shine.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren, man.
Bobby, I've been up since 4:30. It's been a long day.
Yeah, Alan's been rocking out. We appreciate you, Alan.
All I'm just gonna say is I got the signed jersey in the background now. So
yeah, he got the shake good and stuff.
And I'm surprised they were able to find the finals jersey, which is surprising. So it's cool.
Hey,
I love it. But yeah, Chet's been good. He's finally healthy. He's playing. He's gotten better this year. So yeah, you could probably throw him in that conversation. But again, it's kind of like what I said earlier about college basketball, and what we were talking about Arizona with OKC. Yes, Shea's the MVP. Shea's the best player on the team. It's all what have you. but it's a team. It's a team game in OKC, which is why they've had success.
It's a team game in OKC. That's why they had success. And hey, American-born players, Canadian-born players, all they need is players in OKC. They don't care where they come from, man. But guys, look at that, man. We cleared an hour and a half. We did the thing tonight, man. I really appreciate everybody showing up. We got, you know what I'm saying, a lot of great takes for tonight, in my opinion. We're getting down to the wire in the NBA season. We are headed into the playoffs. The play-in will be right around the corner in about a week or so. I can't wait till that jumps off. We will also be getting locked in over the weekend as they cast out some more bets. Baseball season is going crazy. So big shouts out to Alan, Uncle Scott, and Jonathan Grishman who locking it in for the baseball show. And we can't forget, man. If you don't know, now you know. Thursdays, right here in Jax, we are on ESPN 690 from 4 to 6 p.m. You can catch me, Bobby G, my boy J to MIC, some guests, a couple laughs. Big shouts out to Brian Middleton, our producer. Like you just gotta catch us in there, man. And then when we get Coach Will, from away from the youth for a little while. We got Will coming in there too. We gonna get Will on the air for sure. But man, Bobby G, you always a busy man. You got anything else going on for the weekend, brother?
No, we'll be back Monday. Me and Big Mike from the Man Cave, Game Time 216, talking Cleveland sports. We're talking about these Guardians getting their tail whooped right now. And we'll be talking NFL offseason. Then of course, that'll be Monday and Wednesday. Thursday, me, April, Wildcard Mar, Thursday night post game show, and then of course right back here Friday, after the Audible podcast, right back here on In the Hoop. So, hey, tap in.
For sure. AP, you another one, man. You got so many shows. You go to work, you don't get no sleep. What's up, man? What you got going on for the rest of the week?
Lock it in probably tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't really heard much from Tanner. We'll probably figure
Shout out
that
to
out.
Tanner's daughter's birthday. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. So if we don't do a show, that's probably why. But the plan is either do an early morning show tomorrow or probably do one on Sunday, which would be the more likely things. But then, like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you know when that show happens. Wednesday night, as you mentioned, baseball will be a week into the season, so getting in full gear with that. We just did our top 10 power rankings this past Wednesday. Y'all want to go check that out. And then, potentially wrestling show starting up. It'll be on Sunday night as we get ready for WrestleMania. So,
yeah, somewhere in there you got to go to bed, Alan. That's all.
And I'm and I'm working overtime. So.
Oh dang! Well, that's how you get the money, baby. That's where you get the money at. Will,
hey, I need it. I need it,
bro. I appreciate you popping in, man. I don't know if y'all understand this, man. Me and this man started talking hoops at my job a year ago, and now we get him on the show. He's invited me to tournaments, man. Will, I know you said you're gonna be participating in something this weekend. What you got on the resume, man? What's going on with you?
I'm just helping out my friend Coach O with Duval Elite Showcase over at FCCJ. Be playing just girls basketball. Be playing from 10 to 3 o'clock. So there'll be some really good AAU games over there. Like I said, Duval Elite, she does a great job. So I'm gonna go watch some amateur sports.
Yeah, for sure, man. And hopefully we'll get some female participation, because next week on the new episode of Rec Room Radio on ESPN 690. I might as well go ahead and say it now, Bobby. You ready, Bobby? It's ladies' night next week, bro. We doing nothing but women's sports. I don't know who's gonna be on the show. We're gonna talk about women's stuff next week. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing, because it's a tournament going on. We got you know what I'm saying, we got Camouflage, Little Baby. Y'all remember the song Cut? Let's be cut friends. You and I. Shout out to Flaugier. She said she played her last game at LSU. You know what I'm saying? So we got to talk about her and Kim Mulkey. So there's so much going on in the ladies game next Thursday, man. I'm dedicated to the ladies night on ESPN 690 this Thursday, man. So make sure you tune in. Hit the notification button for your boy, man. So for the home team, we appreciate you. It's your boy K Witt. That's AP. That's Bobby G. And Duval's on Will Holloman. We out, man. Peace.
Peace.